Welcome back to Severed Sons, everyone.
Hey,
welcome.
boys.
We are a Frostmaiden actual play D&D podcast, and we are excited to bring you Tales of the Frozen North and the Everlasting Rime. My name is Ron Murphy, Dungeon Master, and around the virtual table we have...
What's up, everyone? My name's Paul, and I'm playing Donar Dracodonian, the Green Dragonborn Monk.
Hey, it's your boy, Ross, playing the newly Twilight Cleric, Shifter Fang.
Hey.
Hey guys, it's Blake, playing Kai Raiju, the human, made-up ninja monk class.
Little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of that.
Naruto.
Yo, I'm Josh. I'm playing Slush the Turtle Fighter. What's he gonna say today? I don't know.
Please let that be the catchphrase every time. What's he gonna say today? It's Slush.
It's Slush. How do I follow that? Hey, it's Zach playing Trax, the red. I don't know if anyone knows that he's red. Red kobold asshole artificer.
Oh, how do you get that class?
It's a multi-class.
That's the
Two
subclass.
Yeah, multi-class real deep for that one.
Yeah, how many levels do you have in asshole?
9. We're only level
least.
4.
He's been working for a while.
One thing I want to do before we start is we usually do this at the end, but I want to thank our audience and our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're out there,
Yeah.
you're all over the world, and we are so happy to have you. Please follow us on Twitter at Severed Sons D&D. Find us on Facebook. Leave us a review on the podcast. Give us an email. Anything.
Talk to
Please
us.
talk to
Hit
us.
us up.
Anything. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, follow us individually too, because like I'm super available for conversations and
Yeah.
funny gifs.
We want to hear from you. Well, let's begin tonight's episode of Severed Sons, episode 12, Knights of the Black Sword. Last time, you were told by the guards at Caer Denival that you could camp overnight in the ruined stable behind the castle. Upon entering, you saw a broken wagon shift, then something invisible dropped down into the snow, leaving dwarven-sized footprints. The mysterious figure dashed for the exit. Trax, you chased it outside, only to be attacked by 2 more figures emerging from the shadows. The creatures were Duragar, deep dwarves from the Underdark with magical abilities that allow them to turn invisible and to increase their size and their strength. You fought them off, and the Duragar attempted to flee on axe beaks, but with clever planning and spellcasting, you slew the gray-skinned dwarves. After searching the fallen foes, Donar, you saw that one of them was holding a crude sword-shaped pendant made from a strange, glassy black material. Upon returning to the stables, the castle guards had changed their minds and invited you into the castle to rest and to question you about the great ruckus that you had caused. You were brought to a banquet hall in the castle and provided with a warm fire and leftover bread and stew. You met the majordomo, a paunchy tiefling named Kadroth, who wore a well-made but similar pendant to the one you found on the Duragar. Kadroth told you to make yourselves at home and that he would speak to you about the Duragar in the morning. Kai, you weren't content to sit and wait, so you snuck upstairs to find the ailing speaker of the town of Caer Denival, and you found his bedchamber. While the rest of the party distracted the guards, you picked the lock to find a speaker in his chamber, very much the picture of health. Kadroth returned upon hearing the commotion and demanded to know what was going on. Kai, you used your mage hand to hold a dagger up to the throat of Speaker Kranich and said,
Looks like we got a little bit of a Luskin standoff here. So why don't we all just sit together and have a nice chat?
You hear Kadroth's voice boom down into the banquet hall, and he says to Kai, "Very well. I wish to wait till morning, but I guess we have to have a conversation now. Let's go downstairs."
I'm going to look to Craddock and usher him past.
I thought you were going to save me. Aren't you here to save me?
Yeah, well, that was the plan, and then you were just awful. So, this is the better way to do this. Trust me.
Make sure he washes his hands.
I don't think that's gonna solve the problem here.
Donar has curled up on the table after standing up to fight before, and he's gonna shout out, "Don't worry, Kai, it's all part of the dream. Nothing's real."
Slush is up in the corner, kind of tucked into his shell a little bit, trying to sleep, but obviously that's not happening now.
He'll. We heard that they're gonna come downstairs.
Well, that's what Kadroth said. I don't know what's actually happening.
But we heard that. All right, then Slush will again begrudgingly, very, very slowly, just trying to get across how annoyed he is, come out of his shell and stand up and come over here.
Okay.
I feel like Slush is really coming out of his shell.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
I'll also say to the other guy that was in the room with Kraddock, can you clean him up? I mean, honestly, you got company.
Kraddock says, give me a second and I'll be ready. And he goes over and basically goes over and starts freshening up. Let's just put it that way.
Thank God.
Good for you.
The guard that's in there is kind of like turning away. The speaker puts on a robe over his bedclothes. He's ready to go out. What are you doing with the mage hand, by the way?
I'm keeping it on him, just kind of hovering around.
Okay.
And the dagger's kind of like just floating around his general head area.
It should be noted that Donar's astral arms are still up, so when he's curled down to sleep, his regular arms are kind of crossed as he lays on his side, and the astral arms are crossed over his regular arms. He's trying to keep as warm as possible, because it's cold out here for a Dragonborn.
Kadroth moves over to the landing, and the rest of you can see Kadroth on the landing on the north wall. They're following you. Basically, the guard is pushing the speaker, not pushing, but like allowing the speaker to go first. So Kai goes first, and then it's the speaker.
Well, I would insist that they go in front of me.
Okay. And they come down to the landing.
Okay, I'm right behind.
The two guards down at the bottom, they look up at Kadroth. They're kind of like shrugging their shoulders. And Kadroth says, "Stand guard at the door. Just tired of you knuckleheads." And the two guards go and stand.
Do they have the necklaces on them, the two guards?
Make a perception check.
17.
It looks like they have cords around their neck, but they go underneath their shirts.
Okay. All right.
As they come down the stairs, Fang is waiting at the bottom with a big smile, and he says, "Kai, good to see you again, and I assume, Mr. Speaker, it is a pleasure. Good to see you this evening."
You should have seen him 5 minutes ago.
Some rescue this is.
Wait, I'm sorry, rescue?
Kadroth says, "The speaker is a little bit touched."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, you were very kind to us. Thank you for letting us stay here. Speaker, please continue what you were saying.
Kadroth says, "Yes, please do." And the speaker says, "Well..."
Yes, please do.
He kind of looks back at Kadroth and looks to all of you. "You're not here for a rescue, are you?" To Kai.
Well, currently, we're just trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. We're just a little bit more than a little bit confused.
"I will explain all," Kadroth says.
Why don't you start with that thing hanging around your neck there?
"We are knights of the Black Sword. We are worshippers of a patron named Levistus.
Levistus.
All of us were destined to die in the wilderness in Swindale. In our dying breath, we were given a vision. The story is different from person to person, but for me, I was freezing to death as a sacrifice, as one of Targos's sacrifice. This was before they were freezing people out in the middle of that field outside the city. They would just turn us out into the wilderness.
Oh, we've been there.
I received this vision to just crawl a little further, and my hand found this weird piece of black stone, and suddenly I felt warm, and I could stand, and I knew that I could make it back to town. So I went to Rinshander. This is where I met my servant Mir. I had received a dream once I got back to full health that Levistus was the one who saved me, and he communicates to all of us. That is who we are, and we are here to make sure that Icewind Dale remains safe. Please, just let us sit down."
Good idea.
And he kind of walks past Kranich as he walks down to the table. He sits like in the middle table. And Kranich kind of gives everybody make an insight roll. Kranich gives like a really kind of like scared look all of a sudden. He was not this scared.
Do you want Donar to make that as well, since he's like half in, half out, asleep, eyes closed?
Make it at disadvantage. How's that?
Mine was a 4, so
Slush got a 17.
Okay.
That's an 8 for Donar.
Dirty 20 for Fang.
Kadroth gave him quite a stern look as he walked past him. And Kadroth sits and says to one of the guards and says, "Please, go wake up Mir. Bring us some ale."
Don't wake up Mir. Leave her alone. Leave her out of this.
No.
Donar's gonna mumble, "If y'all want stoop, I'll make you some." I said,
Is he here? Is he all the way here right now?
"Oh, dude, don't worry. It's my dream. I can
No,
do whatever
he's-
the frick
he's-
I want."
He's not.
He's not all the way here when he's awake.
Okay, let's
So-
sit, shall we?
Yeah, Kranich comes and sits at the head of the table. The guard goes over to...
This all seemed like a great idea until I started thinking about it again today.
That's always how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
all right. We're in it now. I mean, not me.
The speaker sits down. Kadroth sits down, and he says, "After we heard the fighting outside, we have for lack of a better term, a soothsayer, who told me that your coming had been foretold. And that's why I wanted to wait until morning so everyone can get a nice rest. It is late in the evening."
Hang on, I'm sorry. So you knew
Well,
you expected
her. I
us,
don't
correct?
believe half the things she tells me.
She expected us, and you made us sleep in the barn?
I did not make you sleep in the barn. I was not aware of you until those 2 explosions outside of the castle.
Okay.
And
Fang-
Kranich mumble, "My castle."
Fang has moved to the head of the table, but doesn't sit. He stands right next to Kadroth, and he kind of like haunches over, leans on the table, almost intimidation, and he's like, "What I don't understand is that from the moment we got into town, we were told that this man right here," as he points to the speaker, "was too ill to host company,
He is.
that he was on his deathbed. And the gentleman here looks like he is the picture of good health."
Well, other than shitting out the shitty food that they make me.
Speaker Kranich, forgive me. I'm sorry to pull you out of your bed at such an hour. But are you ill?
Kadroth turns and the bench that he's sitting on creaks. And Kranich looks at all of you and says, "They are taking good care of me. I am sometimes out of my mind, I guess."
Boy, that was really convincing.
Kadroth says, "See, he admits he's been sick, and we are taking care of him."
It doesn't sound like he's under any kind of duress at all.
I am not under any kind of duress at all.
Jesus Christ.
Slush is gonna get just really annoyed and stand up very quickly and kind of raise his voice a little bit and just say, "What is going on here?"
Trax is going to take he's going to take a gold coin out of his wallet, and he's going to go over and put it into the speaker's hand and say, "I apologize that I was rude about not being able to sleep inside the castle initially. But here is a gold coin. You may inspect it to make sure it is gold, to pay for any expenses that we've troubled you with." And the coin I'm going to use my magical tinkering to tinker on the coin, and the coin will have a message on it that says, "If you are in danger, put both hands in the air."
How does the coin work? Does it say it out loud? Does it like mentally project?
It's just a text. It's a static visual
on the
of
coin.
25 words.
So basically,
of text, but it's just
one of those like word
on the
like
coin, yeah.
scrolls that you do on a phone or something like.
Like e pluribus unum.
Pretty much.
He looks at it, kind of looks at you. "Oh, I wish that I could," he says to you.
Well, I'm going to turn to Kai, and I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to say, "I think I've heard enough." What do you think?
Kadroth says, "Now hear me out." And he gets up and moves to the front doors.
As he moves to the front door, I would like to cross my arms, and in doing so, I'm casting Vigilant Blessing on myself to grant
Excellent.
myself advantage on my next initiative roll.
He says, "If you would, before this breaks into something bloody, which I do not want, and it is way too late to have any sort of conflict. This discussion we're having leaves a distasteful taste in my mouth as well. I'm sorry that you are being drugged into it. But please, why don't you listen to our soothsayer? Hear what she has to say before you make any rash decisions.
Bring her in.
Can this happen now?
Before something breaks out and somebody kills somebody else."
How would it?
Let me
sit
tell
if-
you this. Levistus told me tonight not to harm you. And I vow on Levistus himself not to harm you.
Well, as a religious man myself, I appreciate
religion
this,
roll.
and I will make a religion roll.
While he does that, Trax is going to say, "That's very kind of you.
13.
You're not going to harm us tonight."
Unless you do something.
Oh, but there's a caveat.
Well, if you attacked us, we would have to defend ourselves.
That wouldn't go well for you.
What would you say to bringing the soothsayer into this current room?
She is ancient and grumpy, and I'd rather not, unless we had to.
Of course, an elderly woman should
If
not.
one of you would like to convince her to come down.
An elderly woman should not be disrupted in such a way. But I would feel much better. I must insist that you will come with us,
Of course, I will introduce you. How's that?
and you will stay. And Fang kind of stands up and kind of cracks his knuckles just by making fists.
Kadroth leans into one of the guards to his left, whispers something quietly. Ooh, nice roll. Okay. To him, but you can't quite make out unless somebody makes an 24 perception check.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, Kai can probably do it.
Come on.
I'm going to try it.
Physically cannot.
Oh, no. It's 14.
23 is the highest I can get.
Perception, you say? So I have to roll a 20 to get it. Nope, I rolled a 4.
Ross, I'm texting you something right now.
Oh, okay.
As that happens, Donar is just going to mumble to the room, "Ask your doctor about Levistus."
At that point, Trax is just going to go over and smack Donar in the back of the head.
Slush is holding
What
this
the frick?
table so hard that his claws are starting to scratch into it.
Look, we need you awake.
I'll watch the dream. Fine.
So
Get
who's going
interesting.
up to speak to this to get the soothsayer, or Kadroth is?
Kadroth, Kai.
Kai, I'll
Should
go
we
with
all?
you.
I feel like we should all. If I'm awake, I want to go.
Why not? If we're just bringing her here, why don't we
this
just
is what I would
Yeah,
prefer.
We just go up there.
That's what
let's
I
all do
offered
that.
before.
Let's cut out the middleman.
Excellent.
Look, we didn't realize it was going to be such a hassle, a to-do.
Yeah, but it's a dream, dude. This is getting.
Fang stays off the shoulder of Kadroth a little far back, but he has got laser eyes on that motherfucker.
Yeah, he does.
Kadroth takes you upstairs, up to the main landing, goes left to the west, goes down the balcony on the west side of the banquet hall, and there's a door in the middle of the hallway on the west wall up on that balcony. He opens it with a key, goes in. There's a hallway that goes back 15 feet and ends in a door on the south and the north. And he goes into the door to the north and opens it and kind of knocks quietly. And you hear a voice like, "Go away!" Elderly voice. "Go away, I don't want any. I'm trying to sleep here." Kadroth says, "We have the visitors you asked about." "Well, send them in. And you go in. A chilly draft wafts through this bedroom despite a roaring fire in the hearth. Bundled under a thick quilt and seated in a squat rocking chair in front of the fire is a venerable dwarf with a wooden peg leg where her right foot should be. Next to her, on a small table, a plate of food that's been sitting there and is cold. It looks like, Donar, you would recognize this. It looks like 2 fillets of knucklehead trout and you see kind of like a couple of like just icy bits of like goat's milk kind of floating on top of it. It's really cold in here despite the fire.
Donar's gonna, if we're all there, right? We're all going.
I think.
We're all in this room.
Yeah.
So Donar is gonna say, "Oh, excuse me, I don't know what's going on, but if you want me to spruce up that fish, because I could tell you did not like it."
I'm not very fond of trout.
Oh, you'll be fond of my trout. Don't worry. Y'all talk about whatever this is.
And
Then I'm gonna take.
Let me guess.
when
No,
he
go for it.
says you will be fond of my trout, Fang leans over to Slush, like kind of makes up a euphemism about it. It's just trying to fit in, and he's like, she like his trout, huh?
As soon as Trek sees that she doesn't have a leg, he's gonna say, "Oh, let me guess. You were out in the frozen wilderness. You acquired frostbite in your leg. You thought you were going to die. You found a little necklace that saved you. Am I right?"
Yes, but I was foretold of it in advance.
Hmm.
I've been dreading this moment. I had a dream of 2 explosions, Durgard dying. I knew you were coming. I just didn't know when.
Check and check.
And I dread the moment. I dread this moment.
Why?
You are my doom.
Oh,
I promise we won't kill you. How about that?
Kadroth is kind of like, he's gonna back. He's in the room, but he's in the back by the door.
Then so is Fang.
Uh,
Fang's on the other side of the door.
he, like in the hallway.
No, I'm sorry. Like if he's back by the door on the left side of the door, Fang's on the right side of the door, in the room with him.
Got it.
All right. If you are a soothsayer, prove it to us. Tell you know what? Tell me something about us.
I don't believe that's how it works. Tracks.
I just want to see. I just want to see. Do you know how it works, Slash? I'm sorry. Are you a
All
soothsayer?
I know is that I have foreseen Icewind Dale's true destruction at the hands of the Duragar.
oh. Good thing we got a head start on smoking some of those outside then.
And she's like spits, and actually spits in on top of the trout. And she says, "A dead Duragar is a good thing."
Oh, well, all right. We're on the same team. Team Dead Durgar. Anyway.
With an opinion
Will
like
someone
this.
shut the kobold up? He is interrupting my train of thought, and I do not have much time left.
I'll tell you, they've tried
Slush is
for a
gonna
few
pick
days
him up.
now, and it doesn't
Slush is
work.
Fang would like to just step in and be like, "Forgive me. You say that we are your doom. The only way that I see this happening is if you are working for the Frostmaiden herself."
She spits again, and this time you see blood in the spittle on top of the trout.
Ugh.
Is that different from the original spit? Does that mean something?
She says, "I know where I'm going after I die, and I'm looking forward to it." She breathes heavily and says, with effort, "I am done. And this coward," and she nods to the tiefling, "will be taking over the cult. Say what you will, it is a cult. It is not a knighthood. You are
Yeah, he doesn't look very much like a knight.
Do you wish for us to kill you?
I believe that after I have imparted the information, that I will quickly pass into the Nine Hells."
Well, that's not our fault.
And what happens, per se, if this information reaches a dead end?
Let's just say the information that I give you is truthful, and also could be your doom as well. If you try to follow stray leads, or follow it before you are powerful enough, it will be to your destruction. I know that you are gaining quite a reputation here in the north. That much I saw in my dream. I saw the white moose.
Okay, she's legitimate.
I saw you take the antlers. Such a demeaning death to such a noble creature.
Yeah, they come.
The moose was kind
Yeah,
of
they
fucking
come
up.
It was a pretty shitty person.
Slush shuffles around a little bit to try to hide the antler that's somehow on his body. I don't know how he's carrying that thing.
This is my dream, and this is the information I must impart to you before I pass on. A Durgar warlord named Zardarok Sunblight will conquer Icewind Dale unless you stop him. He has a fortress in the spine of the world, hidden away. It contains, among other things, a forge powered by the still beating heart of a red dragon. And he has a plan for a systematic destruction of each of the 10 towns. He has spies everywhere. Beware the Sunblight.
Why are you telling us all of this?
Because Levistus commanded it.
And what side does Levistus stand on in terms of the Frostmaiden?
I know that Levistus cares not of the Frostmaiden's petty games. Levistus only wishes to see that Icewind Dale continues to survive.
And this Zardarok, you say, they are coming to conquer Icewind Dale during the Rime?
They are from the Underdark. They can only survive at night on the surface. Where else to build a new Durgar kingdom but a place where the sun has been banished?
You're actually making a lot of sense.
I usually do. The dreams are relentless and true.
So how do we stop him?
That's your job. My job. And blood just kind of bubbles up. My job is done. Leave me.
Donar's been tinkering with one of the pieces of trout with his blend of spices, and he's going to say, I'm so sorry you're going to die. That sucks. If you would wish a last meal, I bestow upon you my good trout. And he's going to plop it on the plate and kind of walk away with his hands in the air.
Make
Very
a
tactful.
cooking roll.
That's very tactful.
Oh, yeah. Performance?
Performance, yeah. You're at disadvantage to this because she's
dying.
But I have my proficiency bonus, right? Since I used my... All right.
Yep.
Okay. So that... it's a 9.
She just takes the plate and just slams it to the floor. Goat milk going everywhere.
Yeah.
And with the effort of it, kind of... she pulls back. Leave me. And just starting to breathe very heavily. And she closes her eyes. What do you do? Kadroth is kind of like chuckling a little bit under his breath.
Boy, you're a sick fuck, huh? I'm gonna walk over to her.
And what?
And using one finger, I'm gonna put it right to her chest and cast Shocking Grasp and try to put her out of her misery.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
That's 6 points of lightning damage.
The lightning bolt lights up and her eyes fling open, and you see a bit of fire, and then the fire fades, and suddenly her eyes, just completely no pupils, go blue, and she stops moving and breathing, and then suddenly you hear a crack as her entire body just freezes in place on the chair.
Well, I hope she enjoys her descent into Avernus.
Look at camera.
Slush gives him a really dirty look.
Sponsored by Liquid Death.
All right, but all seriousness,
not what you say?
Once that happens, yeah. Well, if Ron keeps it in the podcast, that's what I say.
Nice choice.
And after that's done, Trax is going to draw his pistol, whip around to Kadroth, and hold it right in front of him and say, "And where do you stand on this Duragar insurrection?"
Levistus has commanded us to fight the Duergar menace and protect at least this 10 towns and to find more of our kind out there in the
You
wilderness.
see, we found some of your kind, but turns out it was a Duergar.
What are you talking about?
The Duragar we slayed had the exact same necklace that you're wearing. Well, more crude and rudimentary, but it seems like they also worship this particular patron of
Duergar
yours.
do not worship Levistus. I can promise you that.
Who's got that thing? Who's got that?
Show it.
Donart, show him the
I
necklace.
was gonna lie to him, but since you mentioned it, all right. And he's gonna pull it out of his pocket and kind of let it dangle from one finger.
Okay. May I?
I don't know if I'd want you to.
Here, turn it around. Show me the back.
Oh, okay, he's gonna flip it, put it back on the middle
And he
finger.
kind of points to a corner of it on the back where the metal backing of the stone is. There's a little tiny set of initials scratched into the metal.
I'm gonna take a look at that.
We have several guards who went missing, searching the wilderness outside the castle for others of our kind, other knights. I think this belonged to Lon, and the initial has LB on it.
Insight check.
I'll do the same.
Yeah. Same here.
17 for Slush.
Dirty 20 for Trax.
20 minus 17 is 3.
Kadroth says the Knights of the Black Sword would never part with something that is so precious to them. He must be dead. The Durgar must have killed him and taken this.
Well, you're welcome for getting it back then. So, one more quick question before we demand that you let us go back to sleep. Why keep him alive?
Look at it this way. The Tin Towners think that Cadric is that Craddock? The Tin Towners think that Craddock is ill and is holed up in the castle. He did not do much as a speaker. He had servants. He ran him into the ground. He was mean to them. He required a good portion of the food and drink that was brought to Caer Dineval. We're making sure that the town survives. He was not.
So,
We were keeping it hidden because we would not think that the townspeople would enjoy knowing that a cult was living, as Hethel so brilliantly put it, living in their castle.
boy, you guys are doing a terrible job at lying. I mean, here's the deal. He's locked up in the room anyways, right? He never goes out in public?
Never goes out in public. We have him sign stuff.
Just forge a signature.
There are papers that get sent.
You don't even need this goof.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Kai.
This guy is an asshole. If he's not doing you any good, then why keep him around?
I'm gonna ready I don't know, an attack on if Cadric tries to do anything here.
Kai, he says, Levistus has commanded us to ensure the safety of the speaker. We will not kill him.
Your burden.
If you ensure his safety, then why does he fear you so?
I don't know. He is a little bit of an asshole, as you say. Maybe I just yelled at him a little bit too much one day.
Every time you look at him, he cowers with fear. And I want to know why.
I don't know why. He is. Ask him yourself.
Trax is going to holster his pistol after hearing all this. And he's going to turn to the group and say, I think that there perhaps are greater forces at work here than we are privy to.
Agreed.
Well, only one way to find out.
Kadroth says, shall we retire back to the banquet hall?
Sounds good.
Let's go downstairs.
Please.
Yeah, I'm tired, dude.
And he leads you downstairs, goes first. And you get to the balcony and you look down. There are, in addition to the 2 guards, the 3 guards that were here before, 8 more guards have come in to the room. Craddock's just sitting there, kind of snoring with his head, his arms crossed on the table and his head down.
Are we having a slumber party with all of the town's
I
guards?
was trying to earlier, dude, but I think this isn't a dream anymore.
Kadra says, we have done our duty as Levistus has commanded, and had you talked to the soothsayer. If you wish to sleep here for the rest of the night and get your rest, we will see you off in the morning. However, there are many more guards in other places in the castle. If you cause trouble, we will cause trouble right back.
Boy, it'd be a pity to kill them all.
Look, I think after all this intrigue and Duragar, I actually think I am ready for bed.
We can assure you that there will be no trouble from us.
We will be sleeping.
Excellent. The guard that's on hit by himself, with the dreadlocks, who is with the speaker, goes over and gets the speaker, kind of pulls him up, and said, "Come on, let's go." He's like, "Oh, I think I need to shit again."
Good night, bumbling
And he takes him
buffoon.
upstairs and up to the right to the east balcony, and the guards leave. These 4 guards leave through this door. These 4 guards go outside, closing the door behind them, and these 2 guards remain on duty.
I thought Krennic was on duty.
Duty was on Krennic. It was disgusting.
Hey,
So there's the 2 guards that were lured downstairs by Kai remain in the banquet hall at the main gates. They close the doors.
As they do, Fang descends the stairs and says, Are you staying? Are you here to babysit?
Are you talking to the
guards.
Hadrith?
No, the guards.
The guards. The guards is like, "We're here to ensure your safety."
And Fang gives him one of those like smiles with his with his eyes squinted shut, and finds a spot under the stairs, acting like he's heading to bed.
Trax is going to get back to work on his device he's building.
Kadroth goes upstairs and says, "Mir will see you out in the morning. I hope to never run into you again." And he goes upstairs.
As he says,
What a giant red douche.
Yeah, what a dick.
as he
dude.
says that, he says, "I hope to never see you again." And right on his way out, Fang yells, "From your mouth to Levistus's ears."
Got him, Fang. Ice cold.
He was a dick.
Hey, Donar.
Quite the zinger.
Donar, make a religion check.
Oh boy.
Yes, sure. That's a +1. That's a 13.
The dream that you had earlier,
Yeah.
when Fang says to Levistus's ears, the image that you dreamed about flashes in front of your eyes.
Ugh.
And
Ugh.
then it's like you kind of connect it to the name Levistus.
So Donor's gonna shudder a little bit when the image flashes his mind, and he's gonna say, "Oh fuck!" So none of it, part of it was a dream, which I guess is significant, but then the rest of it was real. Out loud, he's saying this to no one. All right, cool. Well, see if that's significant later. I'm going to bed. And he's gonna, unless someone stops him, he's going to walk down the stairs.
Trax just watched all of that happen and just didn't say
No
anything.
questions.
Just Donar talking to
No
himself.
further questions.
No, because he's like crossing back and forth with his hands, like, "Oh, if that," and then with the thing, and he's gonna pull the pendant out and say, "Huh," and then that thing, and he's gonna put it on top of him, over his neck, and then say, "Huh, I'm learning stuff every day." This
Slush is
Great.
already in his shell.
Donor's gonna curl up right here,
It's
and
funny
instantly
because, like,
pass out.
genuinely in character, like, none of that feels out of character for Donar. I think that we would all, like, he'd be like, so, and then this, and we're all just, like, giving him, like, the good night nod. And
Yep.
It's him counting on his hands.
I love it.
He's great.
So you head to sleep? Are you going to do a watch, or are you just going to?
I'm just going to sleep.
I think Donor's out the whole night.
Fang will get up early.
Yeah.
But he'll like take last watch, but he'll sleep.
Donar, roll a 20-sided for me.
Yeah. 18.
Okay. You never get warm, even though they stoked the fires. They brought in the but you never got warm at all.
Oh man. He's
Even
gonna
with,
spend
like,
the night.
Even with the 2 cloaks.
Yeah. All of this is being done, for the record. Donor's still wearing his 2 furs. His and Slush's. It never gets warm. Wow.
Throwback.
I'm pretty sure we did the thing to we did that
Yeah.
woman's
Yeah,
quest, right?
we never went back to talk to her.
Yeah, and also Slush is just gonna let Donar keep it, and
And that's exactly what Donar wants. So I'll take it. Ron, if I never get warm, do I get credit for? I guess we're not done with the long rest, so I'll save that question.
I'm going to say make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. Right. It's a natural 20 for a 22.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah. You get credit for the rest. But you
Great.
definitely felt cold all night long.
Teeth chattering.
Fang, you're the first up. Mir has come in and has set up stoked the fires, kind of snuck in. The two guards that are at the gate are you see them really sleepy and really struggling to stay awake. But Mir comes in and stokes up the fire and starts cooking breakfast on a skillet. That's like a big skillet. It's kind of just over the top of. Donar, you wake up cold, but you smell food.
I'm gonna have as Donar wakes up, he's gonna open his eyes, and there's going to be a mechanical owl looking at him right in the face. Just kind of, just kind of making these little tiny chirping, chattery whoos, like mechanical whoos.
Yeah, I recognize that it's funny, but I freaking hate pranks. So you're on my shit list for probably the next hour, and then I'll forget, if I'm being honest.
Alandi, come here. And I have spent the night creating a mechanical owl.
Oh wow!
And it flies. It launches and flies over to you.
Fang,
Awesome.
as
It lands on my arm, but it's like too heavy for my arm, and it kind of like what? Yes.
Fang will
It
approach
could
him.
almost pick tracks up.
Fang approaches and he says, "What is this contraption?"
Well, I decided that I thought that perhaps we could use some airborne espionage or reconnaissance, and I constructed this owl named Alandi after the owl I had my father purchased for me when I was a boy, a child, a little kobold.
Fang would like to insight check that little kobold at the end of his.
Tracks, make a deception or persuasion.
All right, my deception was a 9.
Wow, I'm proficient in insight, and I got a 7.
Oh boy!
How's it going? 9.
It must be early. He's just stumbling over words.
Yeah. Okay.
I just excuse me, pardon me.
And he says, "I think that this is a brilliant idea. Right on par with
I think
most of your ideas."
Thank you.
And Fang goes to pet the owl, that awkwardly, because it doesn't have fur. It's not fun to pet. So,
Yeah.
but
It's actually cold because it's cool in here. So
Yeah.
the fire keeps a little bit warm, but it's like metal touching metal.
Unlike Trax, the owl is incredibly friendly.
and Fang says, "It's very nice to meet you, Alandi."
Its eyes get kind of focus out and kind of sideways head tilt, and then kind of boop, 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 up to you.
Man, that is cool. Out of
That
game.
is cool. I have nothing specific to accomplish with the owl. I'm just kind of making conversation until somebody shows up.
Donar's got something specific to accomplish once he gets to the food.
And Mir starts cooking, and actually a man comes out of this door and yawns and sees Mir and is like, "Oh, good morning. Oh, you must have been the ruckus outside. Hi, my name's Karu. I'm the chef. Can I cook anything for you?" Mir comes up and says, "We're to cook them breakfast and then let them be on their way."
Donar's watching
Mir-
this, kind of just squatting, and his two furs looking up at them like, "Oh, there's something going on there. That's fun." Yeah, no, I can help cook too if you want. I'm Donar, the pliable Dracodonian, playable because I'm good at shit.
My name is Karu Salafan. Nice to meet you.
Karu Cellophane, freaking nice to meet you.
These are names that I am not going to commit to memory. Do you have? I'm sorry. Do you have any omelets, eggs,
What do you want, Trax?
anything?
We have some elk meat I can serve up. That's been sort of seasoned like bacon, and I can serve it with eggs and an omelet.
That sounds good, dude.
That sounds fantastic. Dona, please prepare that for me.
Absolutely, Karu. I will sous chef for you. This is your place. You seem to know your shit.
And he goes over and starts cooking. You notice that he's wearing kind of like an open shirt, but he is not wearing a pendant.
Okay, cool. I will clock that.
And he starts cooking, and he does a great job, and you help him, and he thanks you for your help. And you actually pick up a little seasoning tip from him. So
Oh, cool. Okay, if you do that, if you cover it with cold water, it cooks it more evenly. Very cool, very nice. And once we're done with that, Donar is going to use his new chef feat, which is very exciting.
Nice.
And in this skillet, once we're done, he's going to, well, from the feat, I'll just read. I'm going to make 2 special treats at the end of this long rest that last 8 hours, and a creature can use a bonus action to eat one of these treats to gain temporary hit points equal to my proficiency bonus, which is 2
Nice.
for right now. So I'll dole them
good.
out in the next 8 hours if they need done. And since we just cooked in this leftover pseudo bacon fat, I'm gonna make it's like garlic naan bread, basically with what I have on me.
Mm.
So it's garlic
Trax
naan
is just salivating.
made in
Yeah.
the leftover
so
fat.
is
I think I
Slush.
can only give them to one person though. So, but I'm just gonna have them on me the rest of the day. I'm saying this as Paul. I'm just gonna have them on me the rest of the day. If anyone needs a boost, I'm feeling freaking charitable.
Karu looks at you, Donar, and says, "Thank you, chef."
Thank you, chef.
And he nods, and I hope you have pleasant travels and good day.
Freaking same to you.
He leaves. Mir comes out and says, "Please, may I see you to the front gates?"
Yes,
quick
please.
question.
Yeah.
We need a guide into Kelvin's Cairn. Know anybody?
I believe in Caer Konig there is a place called Frozen Far Expeditions. You might be able to check there.
Sounds good.
Mir opens the gates. You see the 4 guards that were outside, and they're walking around doing their various duties around the area. And the front gates are open, and the portcullises are raised. And Mir escorts you to the front and says, "Thank you. Thank you very much."
Thank you.
And nods at you.
Thanks sincerely.
And she turns around and leaves. What do you do?
Well, I feel well rested, belly full. I think it's a perfect day to scale
Oh,
a mountain.
We need to find that guide first.
I hope that Garrett has held on for this long.
It's a little bit later than you would normally take off after a rest. It's because you got a late start to your long rest. So it's about mid-morning, and the day is yours. You travel to Caer Konig.
Mm-hmm.
You get there pretty quickly, actually. You can walk the path up. Weather is clear, cold, and dark.
Ah, lovely.
You get there in 2 hours. The white snow-covered slopes of Kelvin's Cairn are kind of looming large. It's like one of those Colorado towns where the town's kind of at the base of the big build-up to the big giant mountains.
It's like Colorado Springs.
Yeah. Big features of this town is that there's a ruined castle in the northwest part of the town, and you can see like bits of tower kind of sticking out over. And that's actually, the ruined Caer is up higher, and it's like terraced going down to the lake. So there's like rows of houses that are built up in those terraces. You see a few people shuffling between snow-battered houses, and as you walk into the town, they're just barely giving you a glance. They've got the wind is really coming off really hard off the mountain, and suddenly a pile of snow next to you stirs, and suddenly somebody stands out from the pile of snow. Where?
Yeah, Helm!
Oh, who goes there? Is it thieves? Have I found those creeping bastards? And you look, and it's a dragonborn with silverish skin.
Yo!
He has a scarf that's kind of around his snout, and he pulls it away, and he belches really loudly, and you see him pull this like large bottle out of his coat, kind of do this and shake it. It's empty, and he throws it on the ground, and he goes, "Greetings, pardon my manners. It's all jittery with all the thieving going around the town. My name is Trovis. I'm the town speaker and sheriff."
Oh, fantastic. Hello? Yes,
And you just smell alcohol just coming off of him.
I thought I was a drunk. Should we just ask him how to get to the expedition place?
Yes, I think that it's better to just keep this moving.
We should just... Hello, yes, we are We are adventurers, and we would like to make our way to Kelvin's Khan. Can you please point us in the direction of someone?
There was a group of adventurers about 10 days ago had come through, I think, here.
Interesting.
Frozen Fars on the northern ring of town.
Okay, thank
if you're
you.
looking for a bar, hook, line, and sinker, but if you're looking for a place to stay, the Northern Light. Normally, I would tell you to look for the flashing lantern. They have a magic lantern, but somebody stole it. It's gone missing. There's been things going missing all over the town.
Huh?
It's so unnerving.
Disappointing. Yeah. Okay, Frozen Fire, you said is north of here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure you don't want to hear one of my stories as you walk.
I'm perfectly fine.
I'll
Yes,
stick back a little
I
bit.
kind of wanted to.
I'll say, so who do you think's
okay.
responsible for all this thievery going on?
Well, no one's really seen anything. It's really just the other night the lantern was stolen out the Northern Light. Corey won't let me hear the end of it because I haven't been able to find those responsible, but not yet. I have a knack for this stuff. I'll be able to find them, no problem. But there was
You seem like quite the sleuth. I'm sure you will detect who stole it at any moment.
He tells you the lantern taken from the inn, a pair of goats stolen from the local tavern, and there was a small sack of pearls stolen from carved in the decorative beads that had gone missing from the stores of Frozen Far expeditions. And he says, there's not really a reward, but a free room and board at the Northern Light if you can bring back the lantern. We don't have much, but it's really, especially with the ferry being out of order and not being able to get supplies. But for some reason, the hook, line, and sinker never runs out of ale. You should try there if you're looking for a drink, though. However, there was... Have I told you the story? And he starts kind of like, he finds another bottle in his coat, and he like pulls the cork out and starts drinking it. It's morning. And he says, have I told you the story about the time I kicked a half-ogre into the river and watched it float away screaming profanities at me?
No, but
that was such a wonderful time.
Kai would love to listen to that
I'd
story.
love to hear it, yeah.
And Donar.
Does he have a coin purse?
He does.
I would love to listen to this story.
Okay. And he finished his story, and he's like, well, there was that time I tricked a group of kobolds into thinking I was a dragon in humanoid form. That was a lot of fun.
That sounds
right. You see, he has it on his belt loop, but it's sort of like his coat is hanging open, and you just see it kind of dangling on his left hip, basically.
Then, while he's going about his story, I'm going to, as clandestinely as possible, perform the hand seals necessary to cast my mage hand.
Make a stealth check.
If it's any help, Donar is locked in, paying full attention.
And it to win it.
Do we see Kai do the thing?
It depends on his stealth check.
It was a 14.
Yeah, you kind of...
You guys were walking away, weren't you?
Yeah, who stayed behind? Kai and Donar?
Donar, yeah.
I probably booked it. I'm gone. I don't care.
I was staying. I was about to walk away, and then maybe I saw Kai do a thing.
If Trax left, you saying he's gonna walk away completely?
Yeah, he didn't want to.
Then
listen to this guy.
Fang went with Trax because that motherfucker's not going alone again.
As he bumbled, he's like, it's a town. I'm fine.
Trovis keeps talking about and Donar is being more the listener, and he's not really paying Kai much attention since I rolled a 3 and an 8 on his perception at disadvantage. He says, Corey at the Northern Light, she has this bonkers story that there's dwarves coming into town stealing everything, but nobody's seen anything. And dwarves are so like loud and boisterous, and dwarves can't be sneaky to save their skin. So I don't think it can't be them. Maybe if you have any curiosity about it, you can go talk to them, to the sisters over at the Northern Light. Corey can tell you about it. But anyway, so Kai, make your sleight of hand.
Yeah. So 24 for sleight of hand.
Oh, nice.
Okay, you get it. Like, the mage hand is kind of like untying it, like drops it in the mage hand and just like flips it away.
Can I see it floating away?
It is. I'm gonna say, yeah, with that stealth roll.
I'm gonna try to intercept it.
Okay.
Slush is gonna try to intercept it.
Okay.
I will pull the mage hand to myself.
You were close enough, Kai. It kind of gets to Kai. I think it gets to Kai quickly because he was not that far away from Trovis. You feel it, and it feels like a flask inside of it, the coin purse.
Boy, that's disappointing. And I'll toss it to Slush and start walking off towards Trax and Fang.
Trovis is like, well, I'll walk with you. We'll keep talking. And so he's like, kind of following you guys. Actually,
I'm staying locked in with him, listening to every
I
word.
believe you dropped this.
Oh,
I'm
clumsy. Corey would make fun of me if she knew I dropped this. Takes a drink of it. Oh, I feel better after that. Oh, yeah. Hair of the dog. Okay. Where were we?
Drunkenness is nothing but voluntary madness. You really should stop as a speaker of a town.
Yeah, Corey tells me that all the time. Not in those words.
If Kai
specifically.
hears that,
Yeah, right.
he'll probably also just kind of throw over the back of his shoulder. It also makes you surprisingly vulnerable to theft, if you can believe it.
I go out and patrol at night trying to find these thieves, and I just fall asleep. I can't help it, and I just lose things all the time, so it's fine.
Ever vigilant.
Donar's gonna ask him one question and say, do you have any more stories about, like, what you did maybe when you were younger? Like, if you met anyone, and do you ever think about starting a family, or do you want to do any kind of...
Well, actually, let me think about this. He says,
Dad?
he goes, well, my sweet mom, I've always wanted to start a family of my own, but, life is tough here up on the frontier, so.
Right, yeah.
But my dear mother and dad, bless their souls. And he says, Bahamut bless their souls.
Bahamut bless their
And
souls. Donar's gonna repeat
Bahamut,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, good.
And he says, they've gone on to the great beyond. I just try to honor their memory. It's really kind of sad. And he starts crying a little
Yeah,
bit.
it freaking is. It's so sad. Well, I gotta go with my friend. I don't want to monopolize your time or the...
Oh, I'll walk with you. It's
Oh,
fine.
that's good. It's great.
I need
Well,
to be... Okay.
We can fade to black on that, but Donar's gonna keep asking
Okay.
him questions about his past.
As they catch up, Trax is going to say, "Oh, fantastic! You brought him. You brought him with you."
Yeah, I had to ask him some questions. Do you freaking mind? Donar's gonna kind of snap and then revert his attention to the speaker.
Little attitude from Donar. I like it.
You're heading to Frozen Far
Yeah.
Expeditions?
Yes.
Okay. Is anybody else heading anywhere else?
Not currently.
Not currently. Okay.
We have a goal.
So you
We know where we're going.
got it. Okay. As you approach it, you hear a kennel behind this like low building. It's more kind of a shack, and there's like a couple of not a stable hitching post with axe beaks tied to them, and you see a kennel with like these large wolf-sized dogs barking at each other and playing the and you see a couple of sleds back there, and you walk in and you see a human man dressed in green. He has a green cloak on, hood up, and he says, "Close the door. Come on in. Welcome to Frozen Far. How can I help you?"
Hello, yes, we are seeking a guide in order to bring us up the mountain.
Well, my name is Tennis Swift, and he's seasoned. He's a little gray speckled hair, and he kind of comes around the corner to shake your hand, and he's like got a little bit of a limp, and he says, "Well, I think my adventuring days, my guiding days are over, but unfortunately, the mountain guide I have hired on staff is gone currently. He is on his way to the Battlehammer settlement to pick up supplies for the hook, line, and sinker.
What is that? What battle hammer?
There's a valley, a dwarven valley, to the south of Kelvin's Cairn, where in the hills, in the ground below, in the valley, is this dwarven clan named the Battlehammer. And there's about maybe several hundred dwarves that live there beneath the ground. But she, my friend Jartha, she's a shield dwarf. She goes and picks up ale from the Battlehammers and brings it back to the hook, line, and sinker. And it's the only way this town is staying wet.
So, why don't you draw that settlement on our map here? And maybe we can catch your friend on the
Well,
way
it's
back.
a pretty big place. He draws it on the map, and you actually see the Dwarven Valley. It's probably a good 5 miles long, and he draws it on there and says, "I'm expecting her back in a couple of days, but is there anything? I have her notes if you want to go through them. She usually keeps a nice journal."
Fine.
Yeah,
Yes,
take it.
please let me see them.
He gives you the journal, and it's written in Dwarvish. Who speaks Dwarvish?
Well, shit. Okay, do you speak Dwarvish?
I do. Give me a second. What are you looking for specifically?
We simply are looking for the best route to the peak of the Khan.
Oh,
Perhaps up
are you following
Garrett.
that adventuring Garrett's party?
Yes.
And he was here a few days ago.
That's who
about
we
10
are
days
looking
ago.
for.
Oh,
Give me his
he
route,
pulls-
please.
Okay, he pulls and kind of pulls a map, that hand-drawn map, and turns around and shows it to you.
And I'll jot
And
that
kind of
down
gives you
in
direction to where on the cairn that you think he said there's looks like there's a little bit of a base camp. He points out. He says, "Right here, there's a base camp."
Perfect. Thank you. You've been so much help.
Trovis says, "These are the new adventurers in town. They're going to help out with the finding of the thieves."
We never agreed to that. We never.
That's what adventurers do, right?
I think we should.
You're gonna help me?
We should help out these very good people.
We'll put it.
Sure.
We'll put it on the list. How about that?
Donar, you're going to help, right?
Yeah.
Nice. We have.
You know. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna do whatever I can.
Donar, I will kill you
Yeah, I'm
if you take another quest.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
What you?
It's pretty high
What you
key
just
for you,
know?
man.
No,
Usually you're much more relaxed about these kind of things. What's going on?
you know. Oh my
Thank you, Slush.
Of course, we will help.
Look, we have priorities. I'm sorry, is finding a lantern and some pearls a big priority as opposed to finding the man who helped us find our way to Targos? I'm sorry, those amount of items that were stolen would be found stolen in Luskin within 20 minutes.
But those were very personal
Trax.
items to people in this town.
I'm sure
mean
they
something
were,
to-
yes. Yes.
Trax, you have something to look for yourself, correct? You have a gentleman who you say, quote, took
Yes,
everything
but
from
I'm
you.
sorry, I'm not putting it.
You would stop at nothing to find this gentleman, yes?
Yes.
The people in this town who have lost something dear to themselves, who do not have the means to go and find it themselves, are counting on us to complete this for them. Is that not a noble cause?
I would not equate what I'm doing equivalent to a magic lantern, but look, I get the gist.
We have to come back through on our way down once we find Garrett. Maybe we can look into it.
We will think about helping you find the things.
Donar, you look over at Trovis, and he's actually crying because that was a really, really touching speech. Thank you.
Did anyone give a speech, or is he just freaking sloshed? I mean, thank you for that. I don't know the speech to which you refer, but thank you.
Your friend over here points to Fang.
Oh yeah, Fang's great at talking. Yeah, that's him. We can move on. We can move on. That's people.
Atenis, the owner of Frozen Far, says, "Is there anything I can help you to outfit yourself? It's really rough out there. There's supposed to be a storm coming in tonight."
What do you recommend?
Well, if you were on official town business, I could let you rent the dog sled.
As the new protectors of the lantern and the goats and the pearls, I think that we are en route to some town business.
Perhaps whoever stole the things from this town could be up on Kelvin's Khan.
Yeah, eat it, Trax.
I like this attitude.
Trovis says, "Donar, I deputize you. I need a deputy. Your deputy."
Deputy Donar Dracodonian.
Oh my
They call
hell.
me the Triple D from now on.
No one is going to be calling you that.
Really did not think about that.
I don't think. No thinking. Moving forward. Triple D.
Atenis says, "So if you just leave a 50 gold deposit I can help you set up and give you supplies and set up the dog sled for you.
Snowshoes, right?
Snowshoes.
Yes, Donar. Pay the 50 gold deposit, Donar.
I freaking will, because I can find my wallet, you piece of garbage. It's alright, that was too much. I don't mean to call you garbage.
His little lizard eyebrows.
Wow.
Snowshoes, rations, camping accommodations, potentially climbing gear. I think these are all things we're gonna need.
Yeah, he can set you up.
Good.
I will split it with Donar.
It's a deposit. You get it
The
back.
cost.
I know, I have it, but thank you, Fang.
It's more of a gesture than more of a solidarity. As when Trax raises his eyebrows, Fang kind of gives him and puts some gold on the table.
Look, I
with
spent
Donar.
all of mine building this owl, all right?
Inside overnight with no cash register.
What is it? What are you talking about?
We had one. No till.
What's going on?
Do you want to stay in the bit? Because we can keep going. Who knew this would be the beef?
You see Trovis looking through his coat, and he's like, "Man, I can't find. Oh, here, just take mine." And he hands you a badge that says sheriff on it.
Oh, yeah. And Donut's gonna pin it on his second fur.
Okay. When you return, come find me. I'll be asleep somewhere, I'm sure. Good luck.
Thank you.
Turns on his heel, stumbles drunkenly out of the Frozen Far Expeditions building, and leaves.
Great. Let's maybe get a rest, have a drink, and crack at it tomorrow.
Sounds fine.
It's about midday right now. It's only you saw from the notes, Atenis says from the notes, it's probably because there's no trail, a good 6 to 8 hour journey to Kelvin's Cairn to where this.
Why don't we just try and make it to the base camp?
Okay, then let's go down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fang turns to Atenis when everybody's deciding when to go, and he says, "What time is the storm coming in?"
Middle of the night, after the Aurora, I believe.
I think we can make it if we move now.
That's just what the almanac says. But so you set up. There are 2 dog sleds that can hold 2 people each, and one you can put Trax as part of the cargo. He's light enough.
Yeah, so I weigh 550 pounds. Is that going to be a problem?
Nah.
Nah. Encumbrance been bumbling.
Well, most of the time there are there's gear. There's gear and there's food and supplies. So
You can just I'll get on my shell and you can just drag me.
That's
Also,
amazing.
okay.
That's canon. We're keeping that.
Kai will offer to run alongside the dog sled.
Okay.
I don't think that's necessary.
Weird.
If
phrase.
Trax is going to offer...
You can all fit. The dog sled. The dogs can carry you, but if there was any more gear on the sled, it'd be a problem.
Trax is going to offer to sleep on the dog sled.
Okay.
Thank you. So kind.
Okay, so you head off into the wilderness. The dogs just take off, and for a moment, Trax, you're kind of like actually have to hold on for a second because they take off so suddenly and they're going so fast, and you're just your legs kind of dangling out the back. But it gets smooth after a while, and the dogs seem to know where to go to avoid, it's because it's definitely hilly, and there's rock outcroppings happening all the time, and the dogs kind of take you around them with ease. You're barely having to guide them. But could someone make whoever is the leader of this party?
Donar's taking charge, man. Donar is galvanized today.
Would you make a survival check to get the correct location of the base camp from the map that you drew from the logbook?
What would a natural 1 + 3 give me?
It would be a 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say he was
everybody
good.
Everybody else make a survival check.
While we're on the subject, Kai would have also, along the trip, made a habit of jumping off occasionally and trying to run to catch up with the sled,
Okay.
just for some extra training.
Every
Okay.
time that he does that, I tell Slush, I go, speed up a little bit, speed up.
And I do.
Trax got a natural 20 on that survival.
Oh, wow. Trax, you're kind of... Donar's got the sleds kind of going a little bit too much to the west. You're actually heading more toward the Dwarven Valley. It's like they're going uphill the entire way, but now it's like it's just easier. You're kind of like steady, like you're not climbing at all. You're just heading off a little bit to the west on the same altitude.
I'm going to launch Alandi off and kind of try and use Alandi to kind of steer Donar back on course a little bit.
Donar, you see the silver owl like fly into your view, and you kind of see it come heading off to the right more.
Oh, Trax, you lost your owl, dude. Don't worry, we'll find it. We'll get back on course to where the owl's going. I know where I'm going, and I'll follow Ilundi.
Okay.
Obviously.
Excellent. Okay. After about 4 hours, because you saved 4 hours being on dog sleds,
Thank God.
you approach the base where you think the base camp is. You see the mountains just towering above. Like it's just from here, it's just going straight up. You definitely have to leave the dogs here at the base, but base of the cairn. You see 2 tents pitched in the snow near an icy outcropping that acts as a natural windbreaker. Between the tent is an overturned sled. Still harnessed to the sled are 5 howling dogs. And you slide up to them.
Yeah, once we get there, Fang will jump out and approach them. He approaches them quickly, but then once he gets like within like distance of them, he approaches them calmly to try to and gauges their reaction toward him.
They appear to be making animal handling at advantage.
22.
22. They appear to be friendly, but cold, hungry, and miserable. You notice that this dog sled that's overturned, one of them harnesses is broken, is chewed through, so that it looks like there was a dog here that somehow got free and ran off.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5 that remain are still kind of like they see you and they start kind of getting excited and trying to pull, but they look weak.
Yeah, Fang, he gets to work quickly, kind of unbuckling the dogs and getting them free from the sled.
You notice underneath the sled's turned over upside down. There's a box that looked like it's been broken into and had provisions in it, but have been eaten by the dogs. There's another box that's kind of tucked under the sled and pinned that looks like it would have provisions in it as well. And it looks like the dogs are not able to reach it with their harnesses on. And so they're kind of, as you release them, they go over to the box and just like look at the box and look at you. Then look at the box, then look at you. Then look at the box, then look at you.
Mm-hmm. Fang will flip the sled over and loosen the box, I guess, and use his mace to kind of crack it open.
And inside there are rations for the dogs and human rations enough to feed 4 people for 3 days.
Yeah, Fang will snag several rations and start passing them out to everybody and just say, I think up here it is better to have more and not need it than the other way around. And I guess make sure everybody has, there's 5 of us. If it's 4 people for 3 days, that I gave everybody enough, for maybe 2 days.
This is like hardtack. This is like survival food.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs eat, and then they kind of look at you, and then they start running back to town, like heading back toward Caer Konig.
That's fine.
And they just take off.
That'll work.
Are there any footsteps around here? Or is it currently
make
snowing?
a survival check, whoever wants to.
I'll
It's
do
been
that.
several days, so any tracks is going to be obliterated by the wind.
I want to check
Trax is going to
tents.
inspect the tents as well.
Yeah.
It looks like the tents had, there's 2 tents and sleeping bags for 2 each. And it looks like it's been rolled up and then placed kind of in a box to get it up out of the snow. but it looks like there's a room for 2 people in each of the tents. One of the sleeping bags you notice is very large size. It's made for a very, very large man. What do you do?
My survival for footsteps was 17.
Okay. You look around, you don't see any footsteps, but you do look kind of like following the edge of the ridge that's kind of overshadowing the base camp. But you kind of see, and you see off in the distance, you see a rope going up onto the next ledge up.
I'll point that out to everybody. I say, unless we see anything else, it looks like this is the best indication of which direction to go.
Let's get going.
Okay. So you get to the ropes, and it's easily, they have like knots in them, so you can get your feet in pretty easily, and you can just easily climb up. You'll have to, once you get up there, the snow is very deep. You'll have to get your snowshoes on to make any further progress.
Trax is going to have Alandi head up, just straight up into the air, and kind of be on watch a little bit.
Okay. What kind of perception does she have?
She's got... Oh, come on. Here we go. Passive perception of 14.
Okay.
Perception is just +2 or +4 for a check.
I'll make the check for her, and that because you can't really communicate with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we don't have like a bond. I just have to give a command. So yeah, totally. Yeah. So yeah, it's +4 for checks.
Okay. Once you get up on, everybody gets up on top of the ledge. You kind of see where it kind of hugs the mountain, and basically you're up on this ledge, and you're like continually with the snowshoes, like closer to the craggy mountain. Up ahead, you've been walking for about 30 minutes, and up ahead you hear a...
You've got to be kidding me.
The goats.
And you see several goats, mountain goats, up ahead, standing on rocks looking at you. And the wind, as you're getting up on, like, further and further up into the cairn, the wind is just starting to pick up and, like, be deafening to your ears. As you're no longer, like, protected by the rock outcropping below. You continue on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the ghosts just kind of like chew and look at you past. Can I have a survival check? Give me a marching order, actually, now.
Donar's less confident in his ability to lead. So if Fang is taken...
Fang will stay up front with the mace lit. He'll cast light on his mace and hold that up.
I'll stay right behind him.
I'll stay behind Fang.
Trax is going to yell up to Donar and say, do you mind carrying this piece of garbage?
Yeah, well, I left all my trash cans back at the... Yeah, freaking get up. Come on.
All right, thank you.
Slush will be in the back again. He likes having that shell at the behind of the group.
So Fang, Kai, Donar, and Trax, and then Slush in the back.
Trax is going to have his gun drawn.
Same with my Great Club.
And Fang has, as a new day, has just cast Vigilant Blessing on himself again.
Excellent.
As we get into this position, Donar's going to give silently one of the pieces of non-bread to Trax, and then also hand one back to Slush.
Okay.
Ranku. Trax is just going to lean forward and say, I'm sorry about earlier. I was in a bit of a mood.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. I got really, really messed up in the head about something I saw that it was probably not obvious to anyone. So yeah, that bread'll help.
Thank you.
It's 2 temporary, if we like hit points. That's what it does.
Wait, what?
2 temporary hit points.
Noise.
Take it for you and Slush.
I'm eating it. I'm eating it.
Fang, you're in the lead. Make a survival check as you're traveling. It's been about an hour and a half now of travel, and the wind's just getting stronger and stronger. You're having to kind of like duck down to kind of like fight your way through the wind.
That is a 21 survival.
21, okay. You're moving ahead hundreds of feet up the mountain, and you come to a glistening white expanse of packed snow. You're about halfway across it when you hear a loud crack come from high up the mountain, followed by a rumbling noise that's very familiar to all of your ears. The ground starts to shake. What do you do? And you look up the mountain and you see white powder starting to come down.
Fang yells out, "Avalanche!" And then proceeds to get himself as close to like the mountain wall as possible.
Okay, it's kind of like here in this area, it's flattened out a little bit, so you're about 30 feet away from the wall, but it's like not really sheer here. It's kind of more of a shallow angle coming from above.
Donard's going to do the same, following Fang's lead, protecting Trax the best he can.
So Trax wants to try something. He pulls out another one of his little explosive devices, and this is going to be a little tiny thunder wave grenade.
Okay.
And once the avalanche is about to hit us, I want it to try and detonate it in front of it in a way to kind of like blow it around us.
It looks like, you're looking up, it looks like a typical avalanche is 300 feet wide, 150 feet long, and 30 feet thick. So everybody roll initiative as the avalanche just starts bearing down.
Oh no.
I get advantage with my Vigilant Blessing.
Yeah, you do.
The avalanche is currently 500 feet above you. Fang, what'd you get?
12.
12. Kai.
6.
Oh, wow. Donar.
13.
13. Trax.
I rolled a natural 20, so 24.
Nice.
Slush.
15.
Nice. Okay. The avalanche starts rumbling and kind of rolling down the mountain. It moves. It's currently 500 feet above you. Trax, what do you do?
I'm going to reflavor it's not a grenade, it's from my pistol, because it emanates from me, so it's like a sonic.
You're currently in the middle. It is 300 feet long. Sorry, no, 200 feet long. So you're in the middle of the area, so you could run 100 feet either direction to make it to safety.
I'm going to, since I'm still on Donar, I'm going to say, book it as fast as you can. Let's see how much we can get away from here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be prepared for that when it finally hits us.
I will on my turn.
So I guess I'll hold an action to once the avalanche is within 15 feet of us. I'm gonna.
Okay. Slush, what do you do?
I think I'll just try to group up and join the Trax Donar huddle.
Okay. Donar, what do you do?
So to clarify, you said how much space on either side of us?
You could run 100 feet in either direction and make it to safety.
Okay, I'm going to take a dash, which for me is 80 feet to the left
Okay.
of us.
Like further along the trail. Okay.
Yeah, to get out of the way of this.
So you got about 20 feet left before you're completely safe.
Awesome.
Fang's next.
Fang is going to go the same direction as Donar. He's going to dash as well at 60 feet for him. Just a general reminder that when Fang dashes, he does it on all fours. So he's going right behind Donar.
On initiative count 10, Avalanche thunders down and is currently now 200 feet above you.
Oh.
Kai, who's the only person who got below 10, what do you do?
Kai is going to use his cunning action, and movement to move a full triple movement 120 feet out of the way.
Okay, following the same
Wow.
direction as everybody.
Yeah.
On initiative count 0, the avalanche hits. So Trax, roll your pistol. Thunder wave goes off. It goes and makes a wave of sonic blast, sonic energy, and kind of disrupts the avalanche in front of you. Everybody make a DC, except for Kai, who's out of the avalanche. Make a DC 15 strength saving throw. If you're within 15 feet of Trax, your saving throw is at advantage.
Nice.
Okay, Donar, what'd you get?
17.
You're good. Let's see, Trax, what'd you get?
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Kai, you're fine.
My other one was a 1.
Ooh. Slush, what'd you get?
23.
Nice. Fang?
I rolled a 10.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Fang, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's not so bad.
The avalanche picks you up and starts taking you down the mountain. The rest of you were able to kind of like hold your ground and let the avalanche go over you. Slush, you're a little bit covered up, but you're easy to get up. But the Fang is kind of rolling you down the mountain.
Yeah, Fang, if if he can, he's going to take out his mace and kind of drive it into the snow. And as he does, it's like as all of this is happening, he kind of like instinctually shifts. So he goes full hyena and just. But this time, nobody sees it. It doesn't matter. So he's driving his mace into the snow to try to get himself to stop moving.
24 tracks. What do you do?
All right, as he is being carried down the mountain, I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna yell to Alandi. I'm gonna say, "Follow him!"
And you see Londi take off. Do anything else, Trax? That was a
Not right now, no.
Slush, what do you do?
How far away is Fang by now from myself, from Slush?
He's currently 100 feet down the mountain.
Oh, hot damn. Okay. Then Slush is gonna, staying in the safe zone, try to run down and he'll dash the 60 feet.
Okay.
But he'll kind of try to follow the avalanche down.
Make an acrobatics check.
Wonderful. 11?
11, you're fine, yeah.
Cool.
You basically pull yourself out of the snow. You were still standing, it's just like you were kind of like hip deep in the snow. You just pull out and get your snowshoes on and you just run fast. So you're able to get within 40 feet of him. Donar, what do you do?
I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna run down to him. I'm gonna take my full dash and not tell Trax this is happening.
Well, here we go.
So 80 feet down the mountain.
You get within 20 feet of Fang. Make an acrobatics check.
Donar?
Yes.
Gotcha. Whoa, that's on the ground. Well, I saw when it landed on the ground. It landed even. You want me to go with that?
What was the roll on the ground?
On the ground, it was a natural 1. I want to be honest.
Reroll.
I couldn't
Cocked,
see.
totally cocked.
Yeah, it's under the chair.
Did you roll a natural 1 again?
There it goes.
It's another natural 1.
It's fate.
That's like 4 tonight.
What? The dice are trying to keep me honest. It's a natural 1 for a 3. Are you kidding?
So you start going down the mountain, and because you're running down, you're getting a little bit too carried away, and you start falling. Trax,
Damn it,
make
Donar!
a dexterity saving throw.
I'm sorry.
A 6.
Okay. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall off of Donar, who is falling, and you kind of just go off a little bit different direction, and you start falling. Fang. So make a strength saving throw.
That is a 14.
14. You're able to you kind of get your hold on, and the avalanche goes past you a little bit. You're still falling down the mountain a bit with the snow, but you're on top of the snow. You manage to break free, and you look above you, and you see Trax and Donar starting to tumble, and Slush behind them running.
He bonus. That was, I guess the action will be the mace. And then in that bonus action, he shifts, tries to hold where he's at. But if he's got eyes on Trax, just wants to. He sees. I imagine he sees him fall off Donar, and then so he tries to keep eyes on that.
On initiative 10, the avalanche travels another 300 feet. And you kind of goes over an edge, and it stops. And suddenly the snow, luckily you were up above the snow a little bit enough so it doesn't bury you completely, but you just come to a stop. And then we're going to go out of combat here as Slush and, Donar and Trax tumble over the edge and start kind of heading your direction. Both of you make this is a dexterity saving throw.
Ugh.
How far is it, like, of a drop?
It's about, you're dropping into like a big pile of snow.
Okay, well, I was wondering if I could cast Featherfall.
You could
if
do
it
that,
would
yes.
actually benefit us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cast Featherfall, and what it's going to be is, I've done this for everyone. They don't know this, but on them there is a small parachute.
Oh, that's amazing.
And as Donar and I fall, I'm going to pull mine, and I'm just going to reach over and pull his, and they're just going to pop out. They're like kind of like they're not like regular parachutes. They almost are kind of like wings. They kind
Flutter.
like Da Vinci style wings that like plop out and glide us down.
Slush, you come to the edge of the outcropping, and it's about 30 feet down to where they are. Kai, what do you do?
Kai's gonna slowly start walking down the mountain to the rest of them.
Okay. And Fang, you dig yourself out of the snow. Not too much force for the wear. It could have been bad if you'd have been like hadn't used your mace to stop yourself. You could have been buried alive.
As Fang stands up, he pulls his mace out of the snow, which is still lit. He's shifted, but his posture is just as perfect as when he's not shifted, and he's not drooling anymore. But he walks over to Slush and joins him near the edge, and locates Donar and Trax. He sees him.
Yeah, they're just kind of like it's not too, like 30 feet down, land on top of the snow.
He turns to Slush. He says, "It looks like they are all right." Actually, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He turns to Slush and he says, "It looks like they are all right."
There you go.
Are you all right, friend?
I am. I lost my footing back there.
Glad to hear it. It happens to the best of us.
And he's a little.
This climate is unforgiving.
He's a little embarrassed. He kind of puts his feral head down. His hair's all wild, like blown in the wind. He turns around and sees where Kai is. And if he's walking
Kai
down,
kind of jogging up right now.
He looks at him. He just gives him a fat wave, and he says, "I'm so sorry," and kind of like laughs and about it.
You good?
And gives him a big nod.
Better you than me.
And he starts to pull his hair back and unshifts slowly back and regains his composure. Less of a transformation now because he has less. It's far less animalistic than it used to be.
Donar's sitting on his ass in the snow, like, and he's gonna look to Trax and say, "Be honest with me. Did I just fly? Because I've always wanted to, and I think that's what just happened."
Yeah, it was more falling with style.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say that. No, consider it gliding.
How did that happen? Did I pick that up somewhere? Did I learn how to glide?
No, that was me. No, that was
you
all
can
me.
fly, and you carried me through the air. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh, Donar's gonna scramble up and say, "Yo, do you guys know Drax can fly this whole time? That's amazing."
As he winds back up the wings back into his his like pack.
And Fang is waving from up above. He says, "Are you all right?"
Donar's gonna return the same meaty Forrest Gump wave and say, I think this is the best I've ever been."
Are you fine?
And he gives him a big thumbs up. And he says, "Can you get back up here?"
Yeah, we should have this conversation like 5 feet from each other. This is a long way to yell.
So you drop ropes down and pull them all up, and you manage to get back onto trail, back up the mountain. It's actually kind of wiped some of the volume of snow away, so it's a little bit easier climbing back up to where you were. Are you going to do the same marching order, continuing on?
Yeah.
If Fang's cool with it, yeah.
Okay. Fang's fine with the front still. He soldiers on.
I don't think we caused the avalanche doing that.
Fang, make a survival check.
Not as good this time, but a 12.
12, okay. You start traveling along the edge of the mountain. You come away from the edge. It's like you're coming to an area where there's like a rocky ridge that kind of crosses over to what looks like another rock outcropping. And you look underneath the rock outcropping and you see a steep snow-covered incline dotted with jagged rocks, like going up from where the outcropping is. Lying next to a lean-to that he's built, and you see he's got a brace, kind of like one of those, what's it called, a tourniquet on his leg.
Yeah.
Like hand from sticks and rope. And you see a burly man in blood-stained cold weather clothes. And he sees you and he waves at you. "Hello, need some help here."
Do we recognize him?
It is Garrett, yes.
Trax is gonna run up. He's gonna pull out one of his little mechanical spiders
And he's gonna say, Garrett, this may feel strange, but just let it happen. And I'm gonna throw the spider at him. Just let it happen.
Yeah. And the spider crawls over him. And what spell do you cast?
It's Cure Wounds.
Cure Wounds. Okay.
So he gets back, I don't know if you need to know this, he gets back
I do, actually.
6 points of healing.
6 points. Okay.
Fang will walk over and he'll share some rations with him. The good stuff, not what we found in the box, but his own rations.
Right. I can't believe you found me. How did you even know?
You know, you have quite a good dog, because he found us all the way back near, was it Targos? He alerted us quickly and efficiently. We are sorry it took this
he
long.
He says, the reason why this happened to me, kind of points down at the broken leg. We were climbing up the mountain, and we were on this climb up to the further heights when a Yeti surprised us, and I managed to lure the Yeti away, and he did this to me as I fought him. The Yeti's still out there somewhere, but I knew that there's a cave up ahead. They might be able to get to safety. I urged them to keep going. So there's 3 adventurers I was helping guide up here. One's a Goliath, one is a halfling, and the other is a female tiefling. Their names are, if you'd like to write this
Wendell,
down.
Alton, and Mormo.
Yes, I would.
The Goliath is Makingo, Growling Bear, Akhenathi. I'll write that in the chat later.
Yes, thank you.
Perlu Fishfinger, the halfling, and Asterix, sorcerer. He says, I hopefully they got to the cave and were able. They had all the rations with them. I'm sure if they were able to find safety to still be alive. And suddenly he stops. It's like, shh, and he kind of looks around. Everybody make a perception check.
11.
Will you make Alondi's?
15.
6.
I rolled
18.
a 4 for
11.
Okay, who rolled higher than a 15?
Tracks.
Jack's got 18, right?
You hear like a yowling. That is no Yeti, he says. And suddenly from above the outcropping, 2 giant cats, like white fur, they jump down and they start looking at you, and they rush at you. Roll initiative.
Oh.
No, my good rolls had to come to an end.
Okay. Slush, what do you got?
15.
Oh, come on.
Let's see. Slush 15. Kai?
5.
5. Trax.
An 8.
Fang.
10.
Donar.
9.
9. Okay, Slush, what do? They jump down. We don't have a map for this one. They're just jumping down.
How far away are they? Are they on us?
They were above the outcropping, so they're I'm gonna say that they're rushing at you 25 feet away.
Great. I'm gonna rush at the closest one to me with my Yokowa. As I'm charging it, I whip the blade on the staff and make it become the Yokowa, and I'm just gonna drive it right at it.
Okay. It screeches at you, hissing, and make an attack roll.
15.
15 hits.
Score. That's just 7 damage.
Anything else? No extra attacks or anything?
I'm gonna do the action surge here, and I'm going to attack it again. That's a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Alright, for 11 damage that time.
Okay. Because you ran up and met it in combat, it stopped its charge. The other one charges past you and goes toward who's left? 2 Tracks.
Yeah,
1,
that's
2
that's
tracks.
You didn't even roll, did you? You're just Tracks.
I'm counting, so it's Donar, Tracks, Kai,
But I mean, honestly, it would make the most sense. He's a little guy.
Easy prey.
and he rushes at you and jumps in the air and pounces on you. He rolls a 16 to hit you.
Get out of here with that 16.
Okay, that was a bite. And then the claw is a dirty 20.
Yeah, 20's my armor class.
Okay. That is 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Make a strength saving throw.
Oh shit. That's a 11.
11. You fail and are knocked prone, and the cat is on top of you, snarling, and like just drool coming down off of its mouth onto you, and then it like rears back and makes a bite as a bonus action on you. And that is a 24 to hit you.
Oh yeah.
Only 5 points of piercing damage
Okay.
on the bite. And it is Fang's turn.
Fang is going to rush the cat that's on tracks, rearing up his mace like a baseball bat, and he's gonna fucking just drive it to try to push it off of tracks. So that's gonna be a natural 20.
Yeah.
You needed that.
I sure the fuck did. Alright, so that's a 1d6. We're gonna double that. 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And does that get him off of tracks? Get
Yeah,
it off of tracks?
you have all of his attention, yes.
I'm gonna stand in front of tracks. I'm gonna put myself between the cat and him, and as a bonus action, cast Healing Word on tracks.
Thank you.
Hey, max at 7 points.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay. Donar.
Donar's going to run up to the cat that Fang just attacked. And first, he is going to use his action to attempt to shove this thing to knock it prone.
Nice.
So I'm going to do... That's a strength check, yeah?
It's opposed athletics, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, so it's a 13?
I just rolled a natural 20, so 23.
Yeah, good. Great, okay.
Good for him.
Yeah, the cat on all four legs is kind of like, cat, you try to push a cat, the cat kind of like does one of those. But it's
Slinks out of
so
the way.
angry at Fang right now. It's like,
Gotcha, okay.
anything else, Donar?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm going to spend a key point to summon the arms of the astral self.
Hell yeah.
Do
These
it.
big, billowy, purple-black smoke arms. And I need the cat to make a dexterity saving throw with a DC 11.
Okay. DC 11.
Yeah.
Okay. It succeeded 13.
But if it made the saving throw, then nothing happens anyway.
Nothing happens. Okay. Excellent. Tracks.
All right, so it's off me right now.
Yes.
Is it-
Well, it's
okay.
you're prone on the ground underneath it, basically, but it's not paying attention to you right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna draw my pistol, and while I'm kind of underneath it, I'm gonna take a shot at his underbelly.
Okay.
That's gonna be 24.
24 hits.
All right. He's gonna get hit with 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. It's still up.
And so that's my turn. And then Alandi, as a free action, I'm going to say, Alandi! And Alandi is going to fire a force strike
Okay.
on her turn for... it's a 12.
Misses.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, that'll be it.
Kai.
All right.
Not used to being dead last in the
I
mission.
know, right? That natural one didn't help. Kai is going to perform a series of hand gestures and cast Booming Blade,
Okay.
and will attack the one that is on Slush.
Okay.
Alright, so I will attack it, and that's going to be a 15.
15 hits.
Alright, so that's going to be 9 points of piercing damage,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts to vibrate with thunder.
Got it. Its intelligence is a 4. It has no idea what's happening. Top of the round, Slush.
So he's gonna get the flail in his left hand and a hand axe in the right, and we're gonna
Fuck
do
yeah.
some dual wielding here.
Yeah,
We're gonna hit
yeah.
with the flail first. 15
That hits.
for just 6 damage,
Okay.
and then the hand axe is 22.
Definitely hits.
Man, just 5 damage on that one.
Okay, it's hurt really badly and looking like it kind of wanted an out. It's looking for an escape. The cat is going to take a withdrawal and jumps away from you and actually kind of pounces back and then starts running for the outcropping. About 15 feet away, he'll be able to jump up on the outcropping above where Garrett is currently.
Gotcha.
And the minute it moves, it takes a D8 of thunder damage. That's 7.
Okay, a nice little boom hits, and suddenly the crag cat just takes 2 steps and falls over. Okay, the other crag cat sees that. It's like, and it's like its hair stands on end, and it takes off and does a withdrawal action and runs away. Okay, Fang.
If it's running, Fang is not going to pursue, and he'll help Trax up.
Thank you.
You alright?
I'm fine. Thank you for the healing.
Do you need more?
I'm alright.
Anything else, Fang?
Scan the area, I guess, for any other threats.
You just see the cat kind of bloodied and beaten and running away. Donar, do you know anything?
No, he's not really gonna do much. He was raring to go to protect his pal, but he's gonna look at the cats running away and say, "All right, yeah, we took care of them," and then he's gonna work on his shoving technique because it didn't.
Trax, do you do anything?
No, I'm just gonna kind of dust myself off.
Kai?
Do nothing.
Garrett, who spent this entire round reaching into his bag, pulls out a crossbow and fires and shoots the crag cat right in the skull as it's running away. As it turns to jump up, crossbow bolt hits it right in the skull, and it falls over, just dead.
Nice shot, G.
Oh,
Thank you. So, where were we?
let's get you home after we get these adventurers.
My leg is still broken. If you want to go up the mountain, I'll be right here.
You're quite sure you'll be okay?
I've been surviving on my own for, a 10-day now?
Do you need any more rations or anything?
If you got anything warm, I'll take it.
Don't. Beggars can't be choosers.
Do you have a weapon?
I have lots of weapons, definitely.
Not a boy.
And he crossbow bolts pull to him, and he draws crossbow, and he has daggers, throwing daggers, and he has a scimitar.
Fang will reach down, he'll pat him on the shoulder, and he'll say, "Stay safe, my friend." And just in character, Fang would give him the vigilant blessing so he has advantage on his next initiative roll that
Nice.
we will never see on camera or on podcast. But
You never know.
Fang leaves him with a little help if he can.
You see the steep climb ahead, and I need everyone to make a strength athletics check.
I would try to help Trax.
Yeah, if anybody's small wants,
Yeah, I could do
wants to
some help.
ride.
Well, I got a 14, but I probably could use the help still.
Nat 20.
Nice.
That's a 21 for Donar.
21 for me as well.
That's a
Okay.
10 for Fang.
Oh man.
Off his game.
Fang, you still make it though. The 10 is what you needed. Tell me if anybody you make it up about. This is actually becoming almost like a sheer climb. It's just it's almost at a just a slight angle from vertical, and you're able to find handholds and places where you can rest for a second. But you're almost climbing straight up. Nobody failed, correct?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, these are counting as group checks. So what happens if half of you fail? Then a problem happens. So make your second group check.
Another 21 for Donar.
11.
8.
Flush got a 9.
8 and the 9.
Oh, no.
Fang.
7.
7. Okay.
Something's happening.
Okay.
Come on, strong boys.
I know what's
Yeah,
happening.
right.
The 3 of you who failed, you make no progress up. The other 2 make up a little bit, and you look down, and it looks like you have to go back and help them up a little bit.
God.
The 3 of you have 1 level of exhaustion.
Ugh.
Oh man.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make your second group climbing check, athletics check.
And we have to make it a disadvantage.
Because you are at one level of it.
Oh, an 18.
That's a 7.
Clicked Arcana on accident.
7.
I got a 9 again.
Natural one.
Fuck.
Okay.
Somebody pick him up.
Okay, you can. The 3 people who failed, you are at an additional exhaustion level, and you've wasted another hour trying to climb up. You're just like getting
So
up, and
got
you're having to like go
exhaustion now.
back to find a different path. How many levels of exhaustion is it? Who's at 2 levels?
Slush is at 2.
I'm at 1. Sorry.
I just got the one.
Okay. Again, the second of 3 successes. Make your rolls as you're trying to climb up this perilous
We
climb.
can do it.
Oh, it's a 9.
15.
Oh, that's better. 14.
11.
Okay, that's a success.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Yes. Okay. So the third of these group checks.
Oh no.
Go for it.
13.
4.
0.
5.
24.
Jesus.
Okay.
I have a -2 to
If you
strength.
fail, take another level of exhaustion.
And what was it? I missed also. What happens when you have 2 levels?
2 levels is your speed is halved.
Oh, okay.
3 levels is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nobody's at 3, right? Is there?
not yet.
Okay. Here's the third, hopefully successful group climbing check.
That's a 9. Donar.
15.
Come on.
14.
15.
I didn't hear any single digits.
I had a 9, but everybody else was great. Hey.
Okay. After several hours of this climb, you pull yourselves up to the top, and you see there's this trail where the snow's not quite as thick up here. It looks like it's more like frozen. It's like ice. The snow is frozen and crunchy, and you see about 50 yards ahead a 15-foot high, 10-foot wide cave mouth, and you see red blood in the snow some distance from the cave entrance. And then from inside the cave you hear, "Help! Help!"
I don't think I'm mentally or physically prepared for this right now.
And that's where we're going to end for
Oh
the evening.
god, we're in
Oh,
the best
boy.
shape for this.
That's great.
I have no spell
so
slots.
tired.
2 levels of
Yeah.
exhaustion.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're nobody's heroes right now. But
How do we get back down?
You could jump.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
That'll
Parachute.
work.
Give me a rest and we can just parachute.
we
down.
just yell back to them like, "We're resting. We'll be right in."
We'll be right there. We
You give
promise.
us just like 8 hours.
Hold them off for 8 hours.
Isn't it? You would need 2 long rests for 2 levels of exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
16 hours.
Please subscribe and leave us a review on Podchaser or Apple Podcasts, and share us with all your friends. Follow us on Twitter at Severed Sons DND. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast, D&D Beyond, Roll20, and thank you to Syrinscape and to Monument Studios for the amazing sound effects and music. Stay frosty!